If I want to make a difference in my world, I must be willing to let my life be interrupted. He's looking for people who are willing to be different, to make a difference, people who are willing to be all in. Thanks for joining us for yet another episode of Wisdom for Wednesdays. We know it can be a long stretch between Sunday to Sunday, so we're hoping this Wednesday wisdom will be helpful in getting you through the week. God bless you, and let's watch this together. If I want to make a difference in my world, I must be willing to let my life be interrupted. It's not easy, is it? So often we think of interruptions as a major inconvenience that takes us off task of what we were trying to do in order to be successful. But in this text, we discover that word spread very quickly that Jesus had come to town, and people from all over the area had come to see and hear Jesus. And these four friends also heard that Jesus had come to town. And they immediately, these four rushed to get their fifth friend because they knew if they could get their friend in front of Jesus, that Jesus could heal him. Now, what we do not know, well, we know they were late, but what we don't know is what were these four friends up to when they finally heard that Jesus was in town? What were they in the middle of working on that they were interrupted? They could have been doing any number of things, and we don't know what they were doing, but what we do know is that they dropped everything when they heard that Jesus was in town, and they were willing to allow their lives to be interrupted so that they could help their dear friend meet Jesus. And what's so cool is this idea of ministering through interruptions is a recurring theme throughout the New Testament. Jesus' life was frequently interrupted. His life was full of interruptions. But what's so amazing, unlike myself and many of us, Jesus never was put off by the interruptions. Because you see, he didn't see interruptions as interruptions. Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, was able to view interruptions as opportunities. See, Jesus knew that an interruption was actually an opportunity to do something great for someone in great need. And for me, for all of us, our willingness to be interrupted is what opens the door and provides God opportunities to bring blessings to other people through us. If we're willing to be interrupted. It means reframing the idea of interruptions in our mind's eye as something positive. Reframing an interruption in our mind's definition of the word that defines it now as an opportunity to do something great for someone else, as our Jesus did. Now, the second life principle. I must be willing to go all in. Luke 5:19. When they could not find a way in because of the crowd, they went up on the roof. They removed some tiles and let him down in the middle of everyone, right in front of Jesus. These men were willing to do whatever it took. They were willing to do something very different. I imagine that's the first time anybody dug a hole to go through the roof to get into somebody's house to see Jesus. They were willing to do something different. They couldn't go through the door, so they created the world's first skylight. We don't know how the homeowner felt about that, but they were all in. And we need to be willing to be all in. We need to be willing to be all in for those who are all out of hope. We need to be all in for those who are all out of hope that their marriage is ever going to survive or find healing. We need to be all in for those who are all out of hope that their finances are ever going to recover. We need to be all in for those who are all out of hope that their relationship with their parents or their children or others will ever be healed and reconciled. Will the hate ever die? These men were willing to be different, to do something different, to make a difference. And maybe, possibly, perhaps one or two of you are thinking, well, I can't possibly be all in because I'm not perfect. And if that's you, here's the good news. If you're not perfect, welcome to the club. Welcome to the human race. None of us are perfect. None, not one of us are perfect, despite what our egos, our clothes, and our Instagram profile may lead you to believe. None of us are perfect. And if you struggle with this, perhaps you will be encouraged to know that God's not even looking for perfect people. God's not looking for perfect people. He's looking for willing people. He's looking for people who are willing to be different, to make a difference. People who are willing to be all in. And sometimes we think, you know what, but if I can't be all in, I should just stay out. And by that, what we really mean is, if I can't help everyone, then I shouldn't help anyone. Right? But the truth is, to make a difference, I have to be willing to do for one what I wish I could do for everyone. And verse 20 says, seeing their faith, Jesus said to the man, young man, your sins are forgiven. I love it. It says, seeing their faith. What's that? Whose faith? The faith of those four friends. You know what I love about this story? One of the things I love the most about this story is that it's a local story. It's a story about 5 guys who grew up in the same town. They hung out together. They palled around together. One of them just happened to need more help than the other 4. So when they heard that Jesus was in town, their immediate response was, we need to get our friend to Jesus, because they knew Jesus was the only one who could truly help with this particular problem. It was a local story then, and believe it or not, it will be a local story for you as well. Unless you are a professional missionary, most of your ministry is going to take place right here locally where you live and breathe and eat. That's where the majority of your impact will be. Yes, you may go to Honduras for a few weeks. You may go to Africa for a few weeks. But most of you, your primary ministry field, where God is going to use you in amazing, dynamic ways, is right here with the people that God strategically and intentionally places in your pathway at common, everyday hours. But we want to do for one. Because God does not want us to look for that one big serve, but rather He wants us to look for those thousands upon thousands of little serves that find their way into our path day after day after day, that in the end all add up to one giant serve. Do for one what you wish you could do for everyone. Hey, thanks for watching yet another episode. We're so glad that you were with us. If this was a blessing to you, please feel free to share it with others so that they can feel blessed as well. Thanks again, and God bless.